go have some fun here, boys. So we got Marcus Smith on the Athletes Podcast here for the 25th episode. That motivated kid on Instagram. The guy's grinding 24/7. Marcus, thank you for coming on the podcast.
No problem at all. It's great to have me here. It's great to actually you guys to reach out to me. I'm looking forward to sharing a lot of knowledge and helping both of us grow today.
Yeah, man. So we've been going back and forth on Instagram. I always see your post. It gets me fired up. I get jacked up about it. We went to the same university. Tell the listeners a bit about who you are, your brand, and what you do.
Well, personally, no matter what as it is, it's just going to be a matter of looking at both sides of the spectrum. So in that sense, it's going to be physical and mental growth. That's kind of where I'm looking at individually. It's going to be motivation as the main segment to what I'm going to be talking to. But ultimately, I'm looking to just, look at all millennials, everybody actually in that case, and just tell them that you can do it. It's not a matter of like you can or cannot do it. You can. It's just a matter of just starting today.
Yeah, that's something you mentioned frequently is starting today. And, everyone gets caught up in January 1st.
Yeah.
Into those challenges. You get this, that, the other thing that comes on. People are motivated one day.
Mm-hmm.
Right now with the coronavirus, people are all freaking out, trying to do at-home workouts, starting up their body, doing X, Y, Z to try and make sure that they stay motivated. What are you using right now as some methods to keep your mind sane?
Well, honestly, as it is, it's always going to be the best time to educate yourself and become more knowledgeable about how you can grow, right? So a lot of text, a lot of individual, reaching out to like fellow friends and family. That's probably going to be the number one source that I would say I'm getting a lot of inspiration and motivation from. They're telling me that you can do it, and that's honestly amazing. But ultimately, you have to focus on yourself, right? So in terms of the physical aspect right now, I have a little bit of a gym that I want to call it right now. I got some dumbbells and I got some elastic bands and whatnot like that. So that's pretty much what I'm working with right now. But yeah, just, get outside, go for a run, try something new. That's honestly the thing that you'd want to do in this case. Anything you have not done, now's the perfect time to do it because you have the time.
Dude, I completely agree. I've been grinding. I've been doing push-ups, pull-ups, lunges, and squats. And I'm just going stir crazy because I have nothing else to do. I bought some rubber bands off Amazon. They're coming in shortly. But I'm trying to use this time to make sure that it's going towards being productive and making sure I'm focusing on those weaknesses. Before this coronavirus hit, I was grinding in the gym. But, you're lifting heavy weights. You're trying to do whatever to get bigger, better, look better, feel better. You're not necessarily focusing on those weaknesses that we have as individuals and as athletes. And those are the kind of things that I think right now, especially people should be focusing on. I'm glad to hear you're doing it. Have people been reaching out on your page and asking you for more of those questions? I know you're super active on social media.
Yeah. So I've had a couple of people reach out to me and, just asking for little tips and whatnot. Those are the things that I'm really going to be focusing on. Majority of the time, people that actually do need help, they're not going to reach out publicly. They're going to reach out privately. And those are the lives that you have to look to really try to convert and really try to touch. So yeah, that's pretty much where it's been for me. People have reached out to me and said, hey, like, honestly, like you got super energy. You're always motivated. It's in the name. You live up to it, but it's a matter of like, what can I do to reach that? And it's not a matter of like, okay, this is where I am. You can't do it. You can go further than me. I want to see you genuinely get better than me. That's honestly what it really is. And a little bit of the hardest thing that you have to overcome with, social media and everything of that sort. But at the same time, it's the beauty of it also, right? So helping people, making sure that they grow together with you, I can't really go wrong with that. But at the same time, I am who I am, and I want you to be you. And I want you to go further than me, where I am right now, and just develop and keep growing.
Dude, it's so nice to hear that because I'm of the same opinion in the sense that like, man, people are talking about starting podcasts and people are always asking me like, oh, are you concerned about other people starting podcasts? I'm like, no, dude, I want everyone to have a podcast, talk about like, this is the opportunity now, especially when we're all quarantined. I've been held up in my freaking house for the past 12 days. I want to get the hell out. I want to talk to people. So, these are opportunities. I get to have a 45-minute conversation with that motivated kid. And
why not?
Dude, we get to smile, share some laughs. And, these are the opportunities that we got to make the most of. Right. And
for sure.
I want to keep growing, same as what you're doing and same as what everyone else wants to do. So, when you're able to take these opportunities, grow your Insta, grow your Snapchat, grow all of these kinds of following. Dude, TikTok is blowing up. Are you on it?
I actually just started TikTok. I'm working on it, learning the algorithm, but things are coming. So
there you go.
I'll give a little bit of a little tidbit right there. Things are coming. I'm working with some very inspirational and very if you want to say newly optimistic people that they're looking to really grow their brand at the same time. So why not do it together, right? So that's pretty much what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, the power of two, 1 + 1 doesn't necessarily always equal 2, right?
Right. Yeah.
So tell the listeners a bit about yourself, you as an athlete going through your university experience, and now moving forward, you're living in Toronto and creating this brand.
Yeah. So first year going to Brock, soccer, everything was great. It was awesome. It was just a matter of like, just waking up, going to play the sport that you really, really, truly love. Just, day to day soccer practice, nutrition, watching that, game day, the travel with the team, coach, friends, everything of that sort. It was absolutely awesome, but it's something that you definitely don't want to get caught up into. And that's the real aspect of what I'm going to be talking about going forward with that topic directly. Yeah, you can't lose yourself. You really can't. What makes you and what gets you to where you are and where at that point in time, you can never lose sight of that. And that's honestly one thing that I could say that really hit me in the face. It really and we were talking about it briefly before, just something in me just switched and that was it. Friends, family, like, hey, like what's going on? You're a little bit different than what you used to be. That was the wake up call that I actually had. That is the wake up call that I needed to really become who I am today, that motivated kid. So that was the switch in itself that really changed. It came to the point that, hey, it's second year, I didn't make the team.
Damn. And
Second
was
year,
that just, and that was just from, a lack of inspiration? What attributed to that?
just shift the focus, fully yourself. Everything in your head. You make, your first year, it gets to your head. Be honest with you, straight up, it really does. And then second year, you go back and it's like, hey, things just change. Who are you? That was the reality check that hit me straight in the face. And yeah, that's what really started the quest in regards to, hey, like, what can I really do to make myself better and go back to who I truly am? That's what changed everything, man. It honestly, there's a lot more. You tell me if you want me to talk about it, but there's a lot more.
Dude, we got time. Dive into it. Let's hear it.
Yeah. So just pretty much second year, didn't make the team. Sad story, right? But at the same time, it comes down to like, what are you gonna do about it? That's when I picked up DJing, right? So people that will know me, Isaacs did a little bit of that. Moose and Goose did a little bit of that. Where else did I do?
Well, you were involved with We Are Ready, getting involved with the athletics programs a bit as well. So you started to branch out, not necessarily just you as an athlete, but promoting athletics in general. Entertainment. I would go as far as saying that.
Yep. So yeah, like I definitely chimed in with that. It definitely helped out a little bit in regards to, like the branding and aspect and whatnot like that. There was also good people that I did reach out to as well, like Bawe and Sami. Like he was one of the guys that really pivotal towards the We Are Ready, like movement out there. Bouncing ideas off of him, letting him know like, hey, this is what I'm looking to do. This is what I want to become. What can I do to really get there? And it was a good thing because he was actually on the soccer team too. So we had previous chats. Yeah, we had the previous chats in regards to like, okay, professional aspect more than soccer. What are you more than actually athletics? What are you more than Brock soccer or Brock? Is there anything in regards to Marcus Smith that I could really take, make a staple, and grow with it and going forward? Because you only have 4 to 5 years at Brock. Yeah. Once you're out of Brock, what are you? That's the question you have to ask yourself, right?
Yeah, a lot of people get caught up. High school, there's those 20, 30 guys that are folks in general that get popular. That's their peak.
Yeah.
Then you got the next slew of people that 40, 50 people. University's their peak.
Right.
I don't want to ever want to hit that peak, man. I think it's a constant striving for growth here, and I think that's what the track that you're on as well. And it's everyone's trying to make sure that you never hit that peak and climax. You're always trying to grind to get further up the mountain.
Of course. Yeah, definitely. Like the one thing that I always tell like a lot of people is like the transition from high school to university college is a very, very easy one. The hardest transition of all is university college to actual adults growing into real life. That's what you have to focus on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. And the issue is there's no guidance. When you graduate from university, you walk across that stage and that's it. Profs, teachers, there ain't nothing that after school. There's nothing to tell you what to do. There's no one to tell you when to wake up, when to go to bed, what to eat. You got no guidance. That's part of, one of the things I've been working on with my mom is writing a little book actually about, how to crush college and after, because there's nothing out there right now about how to to go through that experience. There's nothing out there that gives you a little step-by-step process of, and there isn't a one-stop shop or a cookie cutter way to go about these things. But holy Dinah, man, people need some help. And I think it's important to be able to, like, listening to podcasts. These are different ways for you to grow and learn from other individuals who are going through and maybe have experienced those downfalls, right?
No, for sure. Definitely agree with that. I think, like, a lot of people, like, they have the question as to, like, what do I do next, right? But ultimately, you have to be looking. If you're not looking, you're not going to find anything. That's what it ultimately comes down to. To touch upon exactly what you just said, there's a lot of people. Once you walk across that stage, you now become one of 500 on that day. In a country of how many people? Sorry, we'll start with city. In a city of how many people? 1,000, we'll say. On top of that, you have 10,000 university, college or university students in that city. You go within a country, you add 1 million. You go around the world. What happens then, right? You now become a number, right? So that's
7 billion.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, that's probably the one thing that I would say you want to do. You don't want to be known by a number. You'd rather be known by name. That's one thing that, like, I really, like, push forward, and was one of the main drivers in my message. Just a matter of being a name and being known for who you are and the work that you do. That's the most important thing that I actually look at. So, but yeah, you're definitely right in regards to that for sure.
So how do you balance going between that motivated kid and Marcus Smith? What's your balance on that? Because you got to push that motivated kid.
Yeah.
But, you talk about branding your name.
I honestly think that, like, no matter what as it is, the hardest thing that I've had to overcome is really, like, having A and B and showing you exactly how close they are between each other, right? It's not a matter of, like, A and B leading to C. A and B are directly correlated. Marcus Smith is that motivated kid, and that motivated kid is Marcus Smith.
Nice.
Right? So that exactly is the hardest thing that, like, I personally have had to overcome, because you'll see, okay, cool. Hey, I stumbled upon this kid's page. It's that motivated kid, but, like, is he really that motivated? If you know me for who I am, you don't have to question that.
Facts.
That is exactly what it is, right? So it's branding yourself is great and all, but if you brand it the right way, you really don't have to do anything. It's there and it's done. A and B are directly right beside each other, and it's tighter than ever. You don't have to change anything. So that's pretty much where I stand.
I love it. And I love going through your page and seeing some of those different, you've got some unreal content too. Like where did you learn how to do all this editing, go through all of that stuff? Because, there's a lot of people that are great, fantastic athletes, but don't necessarily know how to showcase what they're doing or create that content. You've got the ability to do both. How did you learn that?
It's honestly trial and error. Seeing what works, looking at the insights, looking at the analytics, and honestly just being true to yourself. Seeing exactly what works for you, seeing what works or what does not work, and, just honestly, like, analyzing that, taking the necessary time to sit back and be like, okay, cool. This is what I've built so far. Taking a step back and saying, like, okay, cool. This is what I have. This is what I can do. This is what I need to fix. One thing that I mentioned in, like, one of my motivation minutes is simply as this. It's not a matter of taking a step back in order to, like, regress. You can take 2 steps forward after that, just knowing that you have to take the right steps going wherever you want to be. Right. So it's one of those things that, like, seeing what you have, the content I've actually, like, my network is really, really strong. I love the people that I work with. There's a lot of people that, I may not talk to anymore, but I really do think thank them for exactly what they've taught me and everything that I've learned from them. But at the same time, it's a matter of, like, looking and seeing, okay, cool, identifying where you can grow, going out there and doing it, and making sure that it happens for you today.
Yeah. And, identifying what works and what doesn't work for you, like you said previously, and then moving forward from that. The worst thing is, there's that famous quote of doing something over and over again and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity. And that's what everyone's trying to avoid, especially in these times where you're trying to do X, Y, Z to better yourself, to further yourself. When we have this quote unquote, air quotes, free time, right?
Yep.
So explain a bit about your connection with Under Armour. You work at Under Armour. Obviously, you've got this brand that you're trying to attach and associate with yourself, with that motivated kid. How are you trying to, make sure that you're sharing a consistent message with this brand?
For no matter what as it is, like, the main target audience for Under Armour is going to be the focused performer. And it's actually funny enough because they actually just shifted towards that new vision and whatnot of that sort. So focused performer, it directly falls exactly into what I am, really. I'm focused, but I'm looking to perform and getting people better. Right. So in that sense, it's great. I'm actually in account services right now. It's actually amazing. It's awesome. The brand itself is really driven towards growth and making sure that the people that do wear the brand and represent the brand are actually taking strides forward. Honestly, it's a matter of perfect timing and just being ready. That's the one thing I could tell people, just be ready. It'll happen. You just have to be ready when that opportunity does come. But in terms of me directly with the brand, there's nothing officially to announce as of right now in regards to partnerships and everything of that sort. Would it be a dream? Absolutely. I would love it. But yeah, as of right now, just continue to build. Don't stop. Keep your head down. Grind. Make sure that, if the opportunity does come, hey, I'm ready.
Yeah. I see with the smile on your face there, and you're saying it the most politically correct way possible, but that's basically you being like, hey, I want something. I'm trying to associate. I'm trying to do everything possible to showcase my brand and who I am as a person. And, that's what happens when we've got these social media outlets where we're able to share who we are. People want to align and do what we're doing.
Yeah.
Right. And you got to make sure that what you're sharing is the best possible version of yourself. Right.
Yeah.
And that's where social media can sometimes be a little distorted in the sense that, everyone's so polished on Instagram and so polished on Twitter. Man, I just did that question and answer thing on my social media page, and I just didn't care. I was answering blatantly, honestly.
Yeah.
First time ever in a while, I've just been like, this is how it is, and this is the way it's supposed to be. Gary Vaynerchuk goes deep into the fact that, this is how you're supposed to be on these social media outlets. Don't create a fake personality. Just go with what you got. And that's what you're doing.
Yeah, honestly, being genuine and being, true to self, that's probably going to be one of the best ways, again, as I always live by, and I'm always going to continue to live by. And that's exactly who I'm going to be. It's just, that's one thing that you always want to preach. Like, never change. Be comfortable for exactly who you are. Be comfortable, being yourself, showcasing who you are and expressing everything that you believe in, everything that you want to show the world. Don't be afraid to show that, because again, hey, me talking to you right now, me talking on Instagram, there's times that, hey, I don't want to talk. There is.
Retweet.
It really is.
Retweet.
Yeah, but when you are ready, be sure that you come with some facts and be sure that you're ready to talk about whatever you want to talk about passionately and tell the world exactly how you feel. Don't shy away from it. Tell them exactly how you feel.
I just finished that. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sure there's people exactly that feel the exact same way as you feel. They won't even tell you until they actually identify how you feel. Go ahead. Sorry.
It's true. I completely relate. So I just finished the 30-day yoga challenge.
Okay.
Shared some of that story. I basically just did hot yoga for 30 days straight. Was a grind on my body, just as far as, staying hydrated is the hardest thing more than anything.
No,
Jordan, the producer for the podcast, I don't know, he's got his mic muted right now, but he just did David Goggins' challenge of 48 miles in 48 hours. Ridiculous. So Jordan, I don't know if you want to chime in about how crazy that experience was for you. And, I think a lot of that inspiration just came directly from David Goggins' page.
Right.
And it's exactly what you're doing, sharing your motivation minutes. Like, those are all different aspects and ways for people to share what they're doing and ultimately showcase maybe not the best version of themselves, but how they're feeling right now at this time. And sometimes it sucks. I posted those 6:30 a.m. videos of me walking to yoga. Holy frick, it sucked some days. I didn't want to wake up, but you know what? You got to do what you got to do. You're motivated. And that's also the beauty of it, is people hold you accountable. I have people messaging me on my Instagram like, yo, where's the post today? I'm like, I went in the afternoon. But that's how you get that, is that following is getting those people intrigued and they're dedicated to listening and watching what you're doing.
No, I definitely understand that for sure. Yeah. You have to be one with your audience. That's definitely one thing that you actually just touched upon that I actually really, really agree on. Understanding who your audience is, understanding that, they may not walk the same direction with you, but they are walking forward. Right.
Yeah.
So taking that step with them, that's more so what I really want to focus on. That's really what you want to focus on. Exact same thing that you just said. It's really comes down to, just looking at somebody and being like, okay, cool. This person's motivated. They really want to move forward, but it's not a matter. I'm going to tell you, hey, yes, do this. I'm going to do it with you. And if it doesn't work, let's take a step back and let's go another direction.
So what's one way that people can align with you after they listen to this podcast? You know, they follow you on social media,
Yeah.
that motivated kid on Instagram, whatever it is. Are we
Yeah.
are we going to start doing some challenges online here, getting people excited to do different things? What's in the plans for that motivated kid while everyone's in quarantine?
Well, yeah, the one thing that I really, really wanted to touch upon was going to be the website that just came out in the past 3 months. That was a big milestone for me, really getting, like, I guess you want to say like a landing page, or like, I guess that motivated kid available at all times. So if you can't reach me, you can go to the website and see exactly what I do and what I'm looking to do going forward. Next thing is going to be some things in the works in regards to, coming back with that motivated kid and motivation minute. That's going to be coming back. I
Nice.
actually asked a lot of people in regards to, whether or not you want to see that on a regular cadence. And that is probably what is going to happen. Things will be coming out a lot more frequently than, say, like the biweekly or the weekly. I'm going to be looking at possibly like daily or every other day for the time being when I have the time. So like, as in right now, that'll probably be the main focus for the time being while we're all indoors. Because, it's not a matter of like everybody needs motivation, but everybody needs a direction to head, right? So that's generally what I'm going to be trying to, like, I guess I want to say, give out to everybody and like inspire, like, yes, let's do this. Just because we're inside doesn't mean we have to think inside the box.
Yeah, I completely, that's deep. Dang, I rate that one. That's legit. That might have to be the title of this episode. Oh man, that's a good one. And I think the best point actually that you made there, other than that little quote, is the fact that not everyone needs that motivation, but people need a direction.
For sure.
Right now, oh my God, it is so hard sometimes to figure out what you're going to do today. You wake up, you're like, well, there's nowhere to go outside other than, if it's poor weather, you're screwed. So what are you going to do? You got to make the most of it. You got to try and turn that into a positive. You're going to be, I'm going to break my push-up record. I'm going to break my pull-up record. Whatever it is, X, Y, however you got to make that direction and build towards the fact that, when you go to bed at night, you can look at the fact and you had a positive day. You did something that bettered yourself. That's one of my goals every single time I wake up in the morning, is how am I going to improve on David Stark today so that I can be better tomorrow.
Love it.
And yeah.
Love it.
But it's thinking outside the box, the way you just said it.
Yeah.
So I'm, there's different things. Obviously right now, staying indoors, I'm going to get really freaking good at body weight exercises.
Sure.
If coronavirus ends and I can't do 100 push-ups and grind out all these different things that I've got as goals now, I'm going to be pissed. If I don't read enough, I'm going to be pissed. These are the kinds of things that I think now people are focusing on. And I think it's a cool opportunity. You got to look at it in the positive mindset. Same way you've been doing it on your Insta. It's all about making sure that we make the most of this time. And, a guy like Tom Brady going to the Buccaneers now.
Yeah. Right. What?
He made the coronavirus about him. The guy's brilliant.
It's smart. Honestly, like I guess he is the GOAT to me. Honestly, that's really, really crazy. There's a lot more to his deal than what we're actually seeing.
Okay, let's go into detail about that.
There's definitely a lot more, because from what I understand, is from what I saw, again, this is not necessarily like, don't quote unquote me as NFL analyst, but
that motivated kid NFL analyst. That's what we're quoting you as now.
We can venture. We're talking about growth, so we can make that happen, right? So like he has a lot of stake in the actual moves that are going to be on the roster. And the one thing that he actually said that he wanted to do no matter what was AB's coming back.
Yeah.
Once he gets reinstated, AB's coming back to the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting. That's going to be very, very interesting. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with Jameis Winston, though. He's gone, right?
Yeah, he's gone. He just had eye surgery. He's probably going to end up signing somewhere else. But he was a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback. It wouldn't surprise me if he ends up on a good team like New England, where, a guy like Bill Belichick could completely turn around a guy like Jameis Winston.
Well, Cam Newton?
Stop. Oh, for sure. I think one of those two guys, both are sort of younger, raw athletes that a guy like Bill Belichick could turn into a fantastic quarterback.
For sure.
That don't throw picks and that are diligent and work hard and start to actually see some real success long term. Sure.
Yeah.
I also think that a guy like, you're exactly right on the fact that Tom Brady's now going to dictate what that Bucs roster looks like head to toe. They've got some unbelievable weapons. And, you know, it's the first time that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be hosting the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And, sorry, Tampa Bay will be hosting the Super Bowl. Whether the Bucs are in it or not is another question.
Right.
But
Exactly.
it would be the first time that a host city has ever hosted and played in a Super Bowl. That would be kind of cool for Tom Brady's legacy for the GOAT. Yep. And, you know, I'm sure we'll hear some feedback as far as people saying that he isn't the GOAT because he throws 5-yard slants. But
exactly.
The guy's got 6 rings. The guy's got 6 rings. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your arguments are. But 6 rings says a lot to me.
It really does. Yeah, he's just honestly like it came down to like finding a challenge for him. That's what he wanted, really. I think so. Not even the retirement thing. He can retire wherever he wants once he's done. Don't even think about that. Let's dismiss that question. He just wanted a challenge, and the biggest challenge of them all would have been this one, 100%. Like literally turning hot to cold and water into wine. that's literally what he is. He's literally like Jesus of the NFL, and that's kind of what he's embraced, right? So, the marketing aspect of like announcing it and everything of that sort, like genius. Yeah. Let's talk numbers. 2 years, $50 million, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Who can say that?
That's ridiculous.
Who can say that?
And so that he's making $25 million a year.
Yep.
Then you think he gets to go down, live in, oh, that's right, the Sunshine State, right? Where, you know, life's good. He gets to chill out with his freaking beautiful wife, his kids, does whatever he wants. The guy's going to be living the dream for the next 2 years. Then he can go wherever, like you said, after retirement doesn't matter for him. He can do whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah.
But he gets to grind with some of the best players, Mike Evans, Antonio Brown. He's got a star-studded lineup now.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of weapons there, man. It's crazy.
He's going to have some fun. I'm excited to see. And, you know, that's the other thing. He gave up money to get that dynasty. A lot of guys forget about the fact that when you are young, you need to put in the hours.
For sure.
You need 100%. To grind. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Athletes need to perform. And you see so many guys like Ezekiel Elliott, for instance.
Yep.
After 2 years, he's holding out wanting a contract. Man, put in your 3 years as a rookie, grind, and then make your money. You haven't done anything to deserve any of that money yet. Why are you trying to ask for money when you haven't done anything? You don't have a Super Bowl ring. You don't have anything. Grind, perform at your best, and then you'll get it. Tom Brady has 6 rings. He took a pay cut every single year of his career.
That's crazy. I know. Yeah.
So that's what you got to do. And now he's making $25 million guaranteed because he's Tom Brady and he's the GOAT.
He built himself.
Yeah. But so many athletes nowadays are thinking, oh, you know what? I'm feeling sorry. This guy's making this amount of money, so I deserve that at least because I put up better numbers.
I don't like at all.
That's the athlete mindset now, unfortunately. And hopefully, you know, with people now understanding and seeing guys like Tom Brady, the older generation that make their money once they perform and once they actually succeed, that's when you deserve the money. Man, you got guys, even Toronto Maple Leafs, for example. We got a bunch of Leafs fans that listen to this podcast. I love chirping them.
You're going to touch some lives now.
Fan. Oh, here we go. Let's fire them all up. You got guys like William Nylander, Mitch Marner, Austin Matthews that are making half the team's salary minimum.
Yep.
And they don't have jack shit. They don't have a Stanley Cup. They don't have anything under their belt. They're all 21, 22, same age as you and me. Yep. And they got nothing. I don't care the fact you put up 80 points. You know what? That's sick. You can dangle Snipe Selly all you want.
Yeah.
But you might not even make the playoffs this year if it wasn't for the coronavirus.
Right.
So this is what you got to do to try and actually figure out, like, win a Stanley Cup, then make your money. Don't be asking and holding out like, oh my God, I could rant on it forever. But these athletes, the younger generation, so spoiled, so used to getting what they want.
Yeah, for sure.
Wait for that money. I kind of wish that it got back to that old school. So I hope they I hope one of them hears this and finds out, despite the fact Matthews says he doesn't read his Twitter mentions, hopefully we can get this into him and tell him he's got to start performing.
Yeah, no, just generally speaking, like as to what you were just saying, like I honestly definitely believe the term of success in sports is kind of skewed. Like Tom Brady is he's the epitomization of okay, cool. This is success, right? But kind of touching upon what you're talking about, the Leafs and everything of that sort. Young athletes, there's a lot going on really in regards to status and everything of that sort. There's a lot of things going in regards to success. And if you look at it, like the one thing that I saw personally, like I pay close attention to the NBA. You started to see a lot of players started to get big contract because of the new CBA bargaining agreement. They started to get big contracts, but they weren't even performing. So like if you look at anybody that's listening to right now and actually looks at basketball, where's Nicholas Batum? Right? Like let's actually talk about that. Let's talk about Nicholas Batum on the Hornets, doesn't play, signing like what, $4 or $5 million 4 or 5 year contract, $90 million from the Blazers to go play on the Hornets, not even in the rotation anymore. Right?
And you know, he's pulling that money and doesn't have to do a hell of a lot. The guy might be training a little bit during those off days, but game days, he's sitting right on that bench getting splinters.
Yeah, same thing as Ezekiel Elliott, right? There's only going to be, when you think about his situation and, you know, the holdout and everything of that sort, you can actually narrow it down into 2 simple words. Very big on the very simplistic and the easy for the hearing and the vision, everything of that sort. Dallas Cowboys. Enough said. It comes with the brand, right? Everything that he did it was planned out perfectly, and it worked. Yeah. He got what he wanted. He really did, right? So, a lot of like, you know, he played on the brand there, especially with being the Dallas Cowboys. The money's there, right? So it's just a matter of like, you know who you are, you know what you want, but he just played his cards right, and you know, I can't really hate on him for getting paid, but at the same time, hell of a football player, I'll tell you that for sure. The guy's a boss.
It's true, and he knows it. That's the thing. I was watching Breaking Bad, and if you have leverage, you are going to win. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So you either have to build that leverage, come in somehow and gain that leverage, or you know what, you've got the lower hand. There's no way to avoid it, right? So you know, for you're building this brand, you've got people following you, you're gaining leverage. If you aren't going out doing things that are pushing your limits, expanding your brands, like going out finding different demographics to go after or to cater to, you're not going to get leverage and you're going to lose.
That's honestly what it is. Like, you know, I won't even lie to you. Like, it came to the point where like things started to get stale, and like, you know, I started to see a decline in regards to like the posts that I post. They're always going to be relevant to people. That's what I want to make it as. I want it to be as relevant as it can to everybody that views it. Being, you know, taking 1 to 100 or 0 to 100 and putting it at 50. So no matter what way you look at it, there's equal amount of numbers each way, right? Going towards 0 and going towards 100. But yeah, just looking at that and just trying to centralize, you know, the message and the ideals that I present for everybody to actually view. That's the hardest thing. But yeah, it's all about, you know, adjusting and changing your approach and everything of that sort, making sure that, you know, as you said from the very beginning, is that you're always going to be wanting to evolve. You're always going to be willing to grow and change everything that you want to do, right? So, yeah, I definitely agree with what you were just saying.
And what are your plans as far as, you know, you've got all of this motivation on your Insta page, you're going through, you're trying to provide this inspiration to others for both physical and mental growth. What are your physical plans? You got some goals as far as, are you trying to get to a specific body weight? Are you trying to get to specific, you know, numbers across the board in your bench press? Like, what are your physical goals here? Let's get into some detail.
Yeah, for sure. So it's kind of exactly what you said. Like, when you first saw me on camera, when you first reached out to me, actually, you were like, yo, like, where is this kid? Like, oh, you see the degree? Like, oh, this kid went to Brock? Like, what? I've never even seen this guy. It's crazy. It's actually mind-boggling to think that, you know, I look back at the pictures and I'm like, yo, like, damn, that's me? It's crazy. Right? So I see people from elementary school, middle school, around my area. I've seen people from university, actually, and they're like, yo, wow, like, that's Marcus Smith. Like, like what? Yeah. It's just in regards to physical, like, there's been major changes, man. Like, it's just night and day. If you look at me, you probably wouldn't think that I played soccer at the collegiate level. You wouldn't think so. You'd think it'd be like, oh yeah, rugby, yeah. So, football, yeah. He's good. But yeah, it's just a matter of, like, you know, looking to seek knowledge. Don't be afraid. Ask questions. I remember there was times I went into the gym and I would be like, hey, like, I have a question. And they're like, oh, like, sure. Like, what do you want? And I'm like, okay, like, my bench is kind of like slacking. Like, what could I do to get it up? And, you know, they give you answers, questions, tips based on, you know, who you are. Because everybody's advice is going to be completely different. Let's be real. It's subjective and it's beautiful. Take it. Right. But yeah, so, like, you know, reaching out, seeking knowledge, getting to know that. But in regards to, you want to talk about numbers in regards to me, I'm currently 220 right now. I'm looking to get down to 215, 210 if possible. That would be ideal. If I can cut any less than that, it'd be great, but I'm going to lose muscle. Don't want to lose a lot of muscle. I enjoy it. It's great. It's awesome. It's good to pick up weight. Let's be real. I'm pretty sure everybody can say that that's listening to the podcast. It's great to pick up weight. But yeah, just, wherever my mind takes me, that's exactly where I'm looking to go. To be real, it's just a matter of like, it can pick up the most amount of weight, but if I can't think that I'm growing at the same time, we have a problem.
I like it. Well, and you don't necessarily have to lose muscle. I've been working with Nathan Jackson, Jordan and I both have actually for that matter. And, just make sure you keep that protein intake up. A lot of athletes, when they're trying to cut down, lose some weight, they just focus on calories. If you keep your protein sort of at a 1-to-1 ratio, 1 gram per pound.
Exactly.
And then, you cut down a bit on the carbs and the fats, then, you'll keep that muscle mass that you have. And then, just start shredding those pounds. Like I'm down 12 since we started in January and I feel good. And, I like hearing the fact that you got those numbers in mind. You're trying to get down there. And
yeah, for sure.
I think that's one of the cool things. We've had people reaching out, talking about their progress. So, I'll be checking in with you in a couple weeks and seeing where you're at. And I want to hear some updates. So last question sort of that we always ask on the podcast is,
sure,
what are some of the tips, tricks that you may suggest or provide to athletes to better themselves, both physically, mentally, emotionally, etc.?
It's actually funny. Like, as you're talking about it, there's one thing that definitely came to my mind. My mom was just knocking on my door, just being like, oh, like, say this. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'll go with this. Like, she always brought it down to me as very simple. I'm very simplistic when it comes to my thought process and, goals and everything of that sort. So I'll put it to you guys as this. Focus, application, and consistency. If you're looking to focus on an individual aspect or focus on an individual item and anything of that sort of thought or growth in that case, you have to have mental focus in order to make that happen. If you don't have that, the rest of it's not going to follow. So the first thing is narrowing exactly what you want to look and what you want to grow, which direction you would like to grow, and just narrowing that down and going with that. The second is going to be application. Once you've actually narrowed it down to the general direction that you do want to go, you have to apply yourself. You really do. If you're not going to be able to apply yourself and not have the work ethic, the grind, everything of that sort, the mental toughness in order to, it may be a long journey, but hey, yeah, as long as you know it is, be ready. That's it, really, when it comes down to it. And altogether, to tie everything all together, is going to be that you have to be consistent. If you're not going to be consistent, you're not ready. You have to be able to, just look at it, be like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, I may have to push forward. I may have to push harder today, or I may have to push harder tomorrow. But is that challenge really something that you want to do? And being consistent, having that high energy, being motivated, being inspiring to other people, and finding inspiration in the darkest places. I always say to a lot of people, it's going to be like, hey, sometimes the brightest light is in the most dark place. Really, it's up to you to really discover it. Really, it's up to really for you to find it, right? But again, as I said from before, like, it's okay, cool. Yeah, you could be searching, you could be looking, but if you're not looking in the right direction, it's always going to be behind you. So that's one thing that I would definitely say for sure.
Well, I don't think we can say it any better ourselves right now, especially during this time. Marcus, I really appreciate you coming on. Where can people find you on social media so that they can stay motivated and excited about day-to-day grinds?
Okay, so yeah, definitely for sure. I do want to say thank you, first of all, before I promote myself. I do want to say thank you to David and Jordan. Thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate you guys reaching out to me. It's absolutely awesome to see like-minded people reaching out and being like, hey, let's do this. Let's make it work. It's great. But in relation to your question, sorry, I had to put you guys first. Yeah, you guys can find me on That Motivated Kid on Instagram, That Motivated Kid on YouTube, pretty much across all social channels, to be honest with you. Check out thatmotivatedkid.com. There will be something coming very shortly. I'm working on it. It's going to be very, very good. It's going to be something for you guys day to day. But yeah, very, very last thing is going to be Motivation Minute is going to be coming back, and I'm working with a special somebody to make things happen and make things work. It's going to be really, really good. It's going to be as close to That Motivated Kid and Motivation Minute as you can see. Little tidbit there. So I'm very excited, and yeah, you guys will see that, and stay tuned for that for sure.
All right, man. Well, we're looking forward to it. Again, Marcus, for coming on the Athletes Podcast. And thank you for those listening to the 25th episode of the Athletes Podcast. Hope you guys all take care and enjoy the rest of your Thursday.